propane tank on. Increase the regulator pressure. And we'll just let it heat up. Traditionally, before the advent of modern machinery, blacksmiths literally made anything and everything that was made out of metal. It's something just steadfast that stayed throughout the years. Every village, every town had at least one smith, had at least one farrier. There was somebody that could work hot steel in that town. And it mesmerized me. I've wanted to be a blacksmith my entire life, literally my entire life. I just didn't think it was possible. As a kid, I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to have the opportunity to go to some Renaissance fairs, some living history museums. They had working smiths on the site. And I noticed during the demonstrations that I was often the youngest person there. And if I wasn't the youngest person in attendance, I was at least the youngest person paying attention. I knew back then I wanted to do it. It was fascinating, it was mesmerizing, almost hypnotic, watching these talented smiths shape the steel to their will with minimal tools. Yes, they might clean it up, or there might be something done with modern equipment, but the overall project is made with an anvil and a hammer and a glowing piece of steel, and I knew back then I wanted to do it. I don't know what it was. It was just, I'm about 12 or 13 years old. I built a huge bonfire in the backyard. We had a fire pit, it was fine. We lived in the country. I think I used a piece of I-beam or something silly like that as a anvil. I had a regular tiny claw hammer, and the plan was to burn out the handle of an old axe and then reshape the axe into something. Well, let's just say my dad came out and yelled at me for even attempting something so silly and dangerous for, a kid to be doing. So he was just wanting to save me some heartache at the end of the day. So I just gave it up, I didn't think of it again until Skyrim came out. All of my friends would just rag on me and say, Carter, you never do anything but stand there and smith. All you do is go around and you gather materials and you blacksmith. Why are you playing Skyrim if you just blacksmith? You never do quest, all you do is blacksmith. And then it clicked, wait a minute. If I'm playing a role-playing game just because I love blacksmithing that much, then I need to do something about it.
The first forge I built was a small coffee can style forge like you see on YouTube all the time, only I used actual refractory materials. If it wasn't just for the size limitations, I'd still use it on a regular basis of how hot it gets. I learned something new about smithing every single day, and I find either a shortcut or something that makes life a little bit easier in the shop every single time I forge something. And I acknowledge on a regular basis how blessed I am to be in the position I am to be able to do this full time. I want to get to the point where I'm making those huge wrought iron driveway gates, those window bars, and those doors that are security doors that are elegant and elaborate. That's where I see the future, is not making all these small things like dozens of hooks and fire pokers and things like that. I see those huge driveway gates.
time I let you know. I took some time away, some time to grow. I don't think this is goodbye. I always want you to be a part of my life.